your favorite show. This is Walter and Johnny. We're gonna discuss an important subject today. Okay, what is it, Charlie? It's water. Amazing.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled programming for a Channel 3 special report.
Good night, everyone. Here's Tom Tucker.
And Janine Mickey.
We interrupt your show for special news that has just come up. We have information from the scientific community that water will soon become resource harder and harder to access for the population around the world.
Indeed, Tom, freshwater represents only 2.8% of the water on Earth. The other 97.2% is salt water. Of that 2.8%, 2.1% is stored in glaciers and snow. So only 0.7% of the freshwater is available for us humans. A report from the United States describes that only 9 countries around the world are sharing 2/3 of all the fresh water on Earth. That makes it hard for a lot of countries to have access to fresh water.
Yes, Janine, and it will not get easier for those countries in the future. With global temperature of Earth rising, the growth of world population, and the increase of cost of exploitation, which can be explained by the price augmentation of the electricity and lots of other factors. At the end, these changes will only make the price of water go up.
Like you said, Tom, population growth will be a problem for the access of fresh water in many other aspects of life. The population of Earth is growing around 75 million people each year, so 1.1% annually. There were 1 billion people in 1800, 7 billion in 2012, and it will keep on growing. Experts predict that in 2030, the population will be around 8.5 billion and it will increase to 10 billion people in 2050. In a few years, during the lifetime of our children, the world population will double its present numbers. The problem is that the quantity of water won't increase, so it will just be harder and harder for people of Earth to get access to water.
That's right, Janine. And with the price augmentation of electricity and the rise of processing requirements, it will become harder for industries to treat the water to make it, at the end, drinkable. For example, in France, according to an inquiry of the Senate, cost of electricity will increase of 50% by the user by 2020. This increase is explained by the maintenance work and the security that needs to be enforced for nuclear installations that generates 75% of France's electricity. So at the end, the price of water will only increase and only the richer will be able to buy it.
And now, let's go see Peter for the weather news. Hi, Peter!
Hello, Janine.
So, Peter, explain us how will the climate changes will affect our access to fresh water in the near future.
Well, with the global warming of Earth, it's going to get harder for countries in arid climate to have access to fresh water. There's a decrease of surface water available all around the world associated with the rise of temperatures. Recent studies have proved that this climate change will aggravate by 20% the shortage of fresh water. Some experts predict that the average temperature of Earth will increase from 1 degree Celsius to 6 degrees Celsius by the end of the century, which will make water evaporation goes faster in lakes and rivers. Water treatment industries will have to innovate to find new ways to generate drinkable water for the population at low cost. Let's ask someone what they think about the future of climate change. Like him. Sorry, sir, can I take a minute of your time to ask you some questions?
Wait.
Yes, we just want you to know to answer that question. What do you think about the fact that in few years, access to fresh water is going to get harder and harder for people who don't have a lot of money?
Ouais, ben, écoute, moi, je suis un pêcheur de babotte. Pêcheur de babotte gaspésien, un gaspachois, comme qu'on dit par chez nous. Capitaine, moi, capitaine, difficile, il y a pas d'eau, pas de travail, chômage, plus de poissons, parce qu'il n'y a pas d'eau. Parce que chez nous, les temps sont durs,
Oh, I understand what you mean. Thank you, sir, for your time, and have a good day.
Ouais, mais oui, toi aussi.
Like you see, Jimmy, people don't seem to really be concerned about the facts that directly affect them. Back to you.
Thanks for the news, Peter. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. We have with us in the studio an expert in the field of water supply that will talk to us about the solutions that we will have to acclimate to this future shortage of fresh water. Joe Reno is working for water treatment industry, Veolia. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Mr. Tucker.
So what solutions do we have to prevent shortage of water?
In fact, there's a lot of possible solutions to react that problem, and here's some of them. The first one could be desalination of water. This technology is already used in some places in the world and has been proven to be a good method to produce fresh water. The only problem is that the cost of this process is very high, so only richer people can afford it. The second one could be growing glaciers. Indeed, more than half of the world's fresh water is stored in glaciers. So as a result of climate change, almost every glacier has been found to be shrinking and meltwater is simply lost into the rivers and oceans. So an engineer started diverted meltwater into little plateaus where it freezes. It has created 10 artificial glaciers this way, which can be used for fresh water in the dry summer months. Thirdly, the lifesaver bottle is another solution. To help solve this problem, Samuel Taylor invented his lifesaver bottle, which uses a pump to force water through a 15 nanometer filter, cleansing it all of bacteria and viruses. Since its launch, the lifesaver bottle has been used by hikers, aid companies, and the British Army in Afghanistan. And finally, solar-powered water purification. Hot climates suffer the most of lack of water, so scientists invented a process exposing titanium dioxide and zinc oxide to ultraviolet radiation from the sun to produce a photocatalytic composite that cleans water.
Thanks, Joe. We'll keep an eye on new technology. So, in conclusion, I think we'll all need to do small daily gestures to help save our water, and hope that big industries will decrease their toxic emanation that makes the temperature of Earth rise. We'll also need good decision making by our leaders to minimize the shortage of fresh water that we'll encounter in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. So now back to your TV program.
But don't forget, kids, good drinking is bad.
Yeah, I know it's amazing, huh, Walter? Water consumption is something important that we should all think about. What do you think, Walter? Do you think it's something we should all